This particular slideshow, Tour and Explore Blackboard, is going to take you through some of the more important components within your Blackboard shell. Let's get started and see some of these areas. First of all, when you log into Blackboard, you are on a page entry area where there's lots going on, lots of modules, lots of panels. At the very top right, you're going to see a drop-down menu that is called the Global Navigation Panel. There's a lot going on here, but think of it as a bird's eye view of some of the areas within your own Blackboard shells or courses. One of the first things I'm going to ask everyone to do, if you haven't done already, is to upload your avatar image. This avatar image will be seen throughout the majority of communication tools within Blackboard. And when you're teaching a hybrid or fully online class, or even using Blackboard as an enhancement, it's nice for your students and yourself to see who is communicating in those tools. Another really important part to the Global Navigation Panel is this icon set. This will take you into areas such as the threaded discussions, where you'll just see the most recent posts that you can reply to. There's a calendar area, there's an update area, and there's a new tool called the Retention Center. That's why you might see some red numbers here, because these are to-dos or updates, or in the fact of the Retention Center, it means that there's some alerts. Also, when you drop down this menu, you will see the courses that you've recently visited. So instead of going to My Blackboard, you could actually be toggling and clicking into other classes, whether you're a student in one or you're an instructor. And last but not least, right here with settings, this will have to be expanded before you can see the other areas. But this is where you would change your initial password, and also where you could set up notifications. The notifications would be where you can set up areas in classes to be alerted through text messages and text-to-speech messages if there's any changes or updates or new information in your class. It's a good idea to encourage students to do this if they have a smartphone, and for yourself as well. The next area, which is part of the default structure when you first request a shell or have a shell that you're going to be developing, is the announcement area. Now, this announcement area currently is the point of entry. That means it's the designated point of entry. When a student or yourself clicks into the class, the first thing they're going to see is the announcement area. So it's really important to make sure this announcement area has something to indicate that your student is in a class. In this case, I put Welcome to the Online Course Development cohort, and I also have included an image and a little bit of an explanation about what the announcements are and what they will be doing. This is important. Now, I want to note that if you rather use the notification dashboard, which I'm going to show you in just a minute, this can also be a point of entry. So if you like the notification dashboard where these modules provide alerts and information, you can make this your point of entry. Now, this dashboard is pretty plain, so what I usually recommend is that when you use this as your point of entry in your class, that you go here to the drop-down menu and edit the page banner information, so there's something for students to see when they click into your class, and they can see, yes, I'm in INDES 101, and you are giving them a welcome. Maybe you're giving them some instructions. In the case of our cohort shell, you know that I have a little video orientation, and so it's important to make sure that you set up an inviting, welcoming area. Again, edit page banner area once you click down this drop down menu. And also, if you're not happy or you don't want these modules, you can actually click over here to the right hand side. You can delete them. It won't delete them forever. It's just going to delete them from the view. But if you want to check out more modules, click on Add Course Module and you'll see that there's a variety of other types of modules to put on this dashboard. Another really important area that we are starting to develop is the menu area. Now, we've done this already where you click on the plus sign and you're adding a course content area. We've added our learning modules, and then inside that course content area we have created our learning modules or our folder structure. There's other parts to the menu that you can add. For example, I like menu separators. So to put menu separators, these lines here to segregate areas, you would go up to the plus sign and then you'll see the menu separator you can choose. Also, I like static headers. I like to group areas. In this case for the class, I have items grouped with content, asynchronous tools, synchronous tools. I believe that this helps visually for you to navigate through the class easier, to locate items. There's also a way to hide and show. If you move your mouse over to the very right of one of your menu items, you can hide and show. And that way, if you're developing a content area and you do not want your students to see it, you can hide it until you're ready. And also, this drop-down menu has other options. You can rename an area. For example, when I set this up, the discussion board, I might have decided that I want to change the name to discussion forums. So right here, you'll see once you move your mouse over there, a drop-down menu icon will appear, and that's where you'll change the name as well as hide and show. Now, once we get into a content area, you may have recognized that there's 4 build buttons. These are very exciting aspects to the online development because you have so many options. Sometimes you're just going to need to go into each button and explore. Look what's available. For example, in our build content area, you've been there because we've created our learning modules. You've created items. You might have created folders, but there's other things to look at as well. There's the syllabus tool, which is a template or a way for you to bring in your syllabus. There's mashups. Mashup simply means that you can bring in a YouTube video and embed it, a slide share, or you can go out to Flickr and get some images that are not going to be counting against your storage capacity because they're actually coming from a third-party site. In the assessment buttons, you'll notice that there's assessments you can create, surveys, and assignments. Under the Tools button, that's where you can bring in your communication tools into this content area, turn it in, the anti-plagiarism tool, you can bring in a glossary. I want to make note about this. You can bring in the communication tools into your content area, and you can also bring them in on your menu. So there's going to be more than one way to build your content. We'll go over some of those ways. I like to call it Tim Toady. There's more than one way to do it. Then we have our partner content button. It's important to know that if your publisher has partnered with Blackboard, there may be some seamless connections right there that you can bring into your Blackboard content areas that go straight to the publisher's content. So check that out. Talk to your publisher, see if they have any already created content. Even if it's not partnered content, you might be able to get some content that you can actually upload or connect to your Blackboard class. I'm all about finding, researching, collecting already created content. Then we have the learning module. I really like the way the learning module looks. It makes a lot of sense to me. For one reason, your students can go through each area or activity sequentially, one screen at a time. Some of our students need that. They need to start from point A and finish at point Z. Then if you have a student that has completed parts of the learning module and they want to jump to an area, they can use the table of contents. I like this way that the learning module that is built into Blackboard is set up because to me it keeps things organized. I'm all about organization for students and helping them to get through the materials in such a way that it's easy for them to find what they need for every week. For example, in a learning module, whether you use this structured format or the folder format, it's important for you to have everything that your student needs to complete that week's activities all in one place. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a folder or a content area on the menu. For example, you might connect the discussion board forum in this learning module. That way, sequentially, they go through the activities and then you might want them to participate in a threaded discussion. It's okay for you to have it in the learning module, and it is okay for you to have that on the menu, where if they want to just go straight to the discussion board, they go into their online class, they click on the menu where it says discussion board, and boom, they're right into the forums. That's what I'm talking about. You can have some of these items in more than one place. Other than that, I would stick to making sure everything that they need for that week's topic to complete their activities is in one place. The control panel. Now, the control panel has lots of different elements to it. The ones that we're going to concentrate on the majority of the time is your file manager, also called the content collection, and that's where if you have documents and PowerPoints and resources, you are going to most likely be directed to upload it to your file manager, organize it there in folders, and then connect it out to your content areas. We'll be talking more about that. Then you have course tools. Some of the tools that you work with, for example, Turnitin. You're going to be creating a Turnitin assignment if you want to use the power of the anti-plagiarism tool, but you're going to come over here to course tools and you're going to be finding your Turnitin assignments and grading them in there. So you might need to come to course tools for that. Evaluation area right here has lots of different new features like the retention center and other reports that you can run on the impact that your tools are making on the students, how many times they visit different areas, and so on and so forth. And then you have the grade center. Of course, you're going to be setting up a grade book. I will show you how to set up a very robust grade book where you'll be able to communicate with feedback, and also the inline grading style tool called the Crocodoc under Needs Grading. I love that tool and I think you're going to love it too. Users and groups, you don't have so much functionality in that. You can find out the groups that you've created. Again, we do creation of groups in the menu area. Customization, this is where you want to go and you want to do those sprinkles. I think I might have talked about baking the cake, the frosting, and the sprinkles. To me, in the customization, there's some sprinkles you can add, like your theme and designating a point of entry. Packages and utilities, you're going to be going there to maybe upload rubrics, you're going to be downloading and archiving your class, and most importantly, you are going to be copying your course from shell to shell each semester. What I mean by that is this: you're going to be developing your course. Then after that, you're going to be taking the course and moving it over to a live shell. Every semester, you're going to be taking your content and moving it over to the new shell. It's a very easy process. Only instructors see the control panel area. So that's about it. Those are some main components in your Blackboard shell or online class. And I just want to say thank you for being an online instructor. You are providing opportunities for students that they may not have without your dedication and passion for teaching. Thank you.